Wendy. I just wanted to give you a few exercises to work on this week since we will not have our virtual session. So enjoy. Let's start with your foam roller. I've got my foam roller and I've got a resistance band. So a few exercises that you know or we have done before. I'm going to start with the foam roller resting underneath the base of the skull. So it's not at any point on the neck or the cervical spine, but it's really kind of right about kind of behind the ears or the hairline. Now, if you feel like it's not going to slip out from underneath you, you can just rest your hands down, or you can place your hands on either side of the roller. But what you're going to do first is just really let the weight of the head rest on the roll. And then from here, Wendy, what you can do is even just the tiniest little nod yes, while still keeping the full weight of the head on the roll. Trying to keep the throat and the neck relaxed. You can do nods yes, I would say with each of these little positions or rolls, muscle releases, do about 20 to 30 seconds. Then you can kind of take your head and roll to the right. So you're biasing now all the weight onto the right side of the skull, the base of the skull, and then over to the left. And you can do that back and forth again about 20 to 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. And Wendy, if there's a side, which I'm thinking it's probably your right side, if there's a side that's a little more tender, then definitely feel free to hang out on that side, take a few good breaths, maybe even some small circles in each direction on that side. Again, about 20 seconds. So that's your first exercise in the home program this week. And then next exercise, I'm going to ask you to lie lengthwise on the roller. So we're going to go with the roller the length of the spine, making sure that your head is supported, and I believe your tail will also be on the roller as far as the length. So just make sure again that definitely the base of the head is supported. This is a great position because it kind of lets gravity work with us, so our head is well positioned, our chest can kind of open up as far as across the front of the chest and the shoulders. You want to feel as much as you can that rib cage area starts to settle down, and then you want to feel the pelvis on the roller. So again, the beauty, we're nice and open across the chest. You and I did this with your virtual session, and now forgive me if my leg goes out of the shot, but I'm going to extend, no, I think we're in there. I'm going to extend one leg up towards the ceiling. And based upon hamstrings, if you need to bend the knee a little bit, that's okay, but we want to lengthen, we want to flex at the ankle, and our goal is that we haven't tipped too far off to one side, that we can still keep everything nice and open. And then from here, Betsy, what you'll do is you'll do a little tick-tock motion. So it's kind of like a windshield wiper or a metronome. I'm taking the leg across, past the midline a bit, and then away from the midline and just outside the width of the pelvis a bit. So you're challenging the trunk to stay supported on the roll. You're working a little bit of the mobility within the hip joint. And I would say maybe about 12 of those on each leg. The alternate leg, I want you to keep nice and steady, nice and strong. I'm not going to show both sides, but just know that you'll do, again, about 12 on each side. And then from here, Wendy, let's come up, grab your band, and a little bit of shoulder activation or setting. I've got the band, the resistance band, and I've got my palms facing up. My elbows are falling just under the line of my shoulder joint. So for instance, they're not way back behind the body, they're not way in front of the body, but they're just gonna land, again, right down from the shoulders. I've got a 90 degree at the elbow. 90-degree angle at the elbow, and that remains the same. It's kind of like my elbows have little magnets on them. They're staying close to the side body, not splaying outward, but not necessarily scrunching. So we stay open across the chest. We pull outward on the band, and I'm not looking for a huge range of motion, but just enough to start to fire up and activate the back of the shoulders or the rotator cuff. So notice if you can do this while the head and the neck, or I should say kind of that space between the ear and the jaw, stay nice and relaxed. And on this one, Wendy, I would say about 10 repetitions. Now this little series, definitely if you want to add like a second set with the exercise on the roller or the exercise here with the band, second series of 10 to 12, not a bad thing. I think it could even be repeated throughout the day if you wanted to do it a couple times. Just be gentle as far as when you're rolling out the musculature of the head and the neck or the suboccipital, that you don't get it irritated, or don't overdo it. I hope you are doing well, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.